Here we go in 3, 2.
Yo, in This Week in Sports, it's your host Josh Jacko. The last week in sports of my 20s. I can't even believe it. Turning 30 this weekend, and we got some crazy plans for that, for such festivities. A lot of things happening in this past week, including some sirens going on. We're also, as you can see, we're on the balcony once again, enjoying this magnificent view, and also jamming to this siren that just has to show up as soon as we're recording. Is that what, an ambulance?
How important is the life?
Yes, we're recording a podcast here. Come on now, priorities. Shit, I thought we were in contact with City Council here.
Someone's doing construction after 6:30 p.m.
It's a greasy week, boys and girls. It's a greasy week.
Hot.
Fucking 32 degrees today. Yesterday, I was working all day, both days in the sun. Freaking lost like maybe 1.5 pounds, maybe 3/4 of a pound. Still fat though. There's people yelling up here. There's fans everywhere. There's fans of this week in sports all over central Alberta. But what's happened in This Week in Sports, the Jays going for a sweep tonight, actually, as we're recording this. They're playing the Cubs. They won their last two against the Cubs, the first of which was in dramatic fashion in the 11th inning. And that was after getting swept by the Angels. But we bounced back. We'll get into that. We'll get into some other news around the MLB, some NHL news, some rumors in that regard. The NFL is starting up soon. NBA, quick note on that. Canadian is involved, and one of the greatest athletes of our generation retires. And I have some great stories for This Week in Sports history regarding some of my travels. But leading off, the Toronto Blue Jays have won the last two games, first of which was in dramatic fashion in the 11th inning. Danny Jansen, the hero of the first game against the Cubs, he ended up hitting a clutch 3-run home run in the 7th inning to bring us within 1 run. We ended up tying it, and it was funny. I was actually here. This was on Monday, and I was here at Naomi's place, and I was watching it on my phone using Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi up here is kind of hit and miss. So I ran downstairs because it was like going to extras. I'm like, okay, I'm running downstairs. It's AC down there. Wi-Fi's mint down there. And I watched the finish here. It was funny on my phone. And Danny Jansen with 4 RBIs and was the star of that game. The following game, yesterday's game, Vladdy ended up hitting his 99th career home run, his 27th of the season. And if he were to hit a home run today in this game, he would be the fastest Blue Jay ever to hit 100 home runs in his career. So last I checked, I think the score was like 5-2 Cubs. They were up 4-0. We got a couple runs back, and they got one. Obviously, I'm not watching it right at this particular moment. Going to wrap this up in a timely manner, hopefully to catch the end of the game. But something that I wanted to mention too, a player, Teoscar Hernandez. He's been a little. I was questioning his effort the last week or so, and he did have a hurt foot, but I noticed some efforts. The first of which, a couple series ago, when we were in Fenway Park in Boston, he kind of just. It looked like he just kind of half-assed stopping a ball that was hit in his direction into the in the pesky corner at Fenway Park, and it got by Teoscar, and it ultimately led to a big inning for the Red Sox. And then another play against the Angels when I was catching one of their games, the Angels and the Blue Jays. There was a big hit out to right field, and Teo was tracking it, and it almost looked like he gave up on it, even though the ball hit like halfway up the wall in right field, and it was definitely a catchable ball, especially for a major league player. He either lost it in the lights, or in the sky, or he just didn't have the effort. So I was questioning this guy's effort. I was like, what the fuck? They keep leaving him in there. It's recorded that he has a hurt foot, and maybe that's contributing to his lack of effort and his lack of giving 110% as any MLB player should. And then as soon as I was writing notes about Teo yesterday while I was watching the game, he makes a tremendous sliding catch. I can't remember which inning it was, and then follows it up with a fucking dinger yesterday. So all of that is forgotten, obviously. He's hopefully back in the swing of things, pun intended, and hopefully he can continue doing what he's capable of doing, and that is putting up great numbers, being a defensive force in right field, and hopefully I don't see any more lackluster efforts by him. One, because obviously he pays attention to what I think, so we can't have him doing shit like that. Yesterday also the Cubs when they're in town, and yesterday was Marcus Stroman's first start back in Toronto since being traded by the Blue Jays in 2019. He was one of our most dominant pitchers for the 5 years we had him in the bigs. He played some really, really important games and had some really, really tremendous performances in those games throughout the 2015 season when we went to the playoffs, the 2016 season when we went to the playoffs. He pitched the wild card game in 2016, which basically, when we won in extras with Edwin Encarnacion's home run, and that game that win punched my ticket to Toronto for the first time. He started in that game. I'll never forget that game because, not unlike what's happening with my sister right now, we were moving out of my crib right over. Where is it? Right over there. Moving out of that crib. Hopefully the framing's okay still. I'm on my mark here. The stain on the fucking balcony. Yeah, so I was moving out of that crib over there, but I left my couch and my TV, the only things that were left in my crib, because I still had cable, and I knew that the wild card game was on and we had to watch it. And I'll never forget watching that and just freaking out and having crazy fucking just jumping around like, holy fuck, I'm going to Toronto, because halfway through that game is when I decided I was going to go to Toronto. I'm like, yo, if we're going to win this, I'm going to go to Toronto. I'm going to go watch a playoff game. And I've told the story of like going to Toronto and having to stand in line and all that. I've told that story on the podcast before, but that was the first time I went to Toronto, and Marcus Stroman started that game and ultimately contributed to us winning that. So, the Blue Jays are playing right now. Hopefully by the time this drops, we have swept, and we're still in a playoff spot right now. We're in wild card positioning. We have to make up some ground. I want us to have home field advantage for that. If we do have to play a wild card series, we obviously, if we have home field advantage as Canada's only team, it'd be fucking huge. Shit, you never know. I might even be there. That'd be, can't put that out of the realm of possibility. So go Jays, go. And hopefully, like I said, by the time we drop this, we'll have recorded another win. In other baseball news, though, Aaron Judge just tearing it up still. Yesterday, he got his 50th home run. I guess tonight he got his 51st home run of the season. And so he's on pace to match or break not only Babe Ruth's record, but also how am I drawing a blank on the guy who had Harris? Right? Roger Harris? Anyways, he's on pace to be breaking records this year, and especially Yankee records. So he hit his 51st this evening. Shit, by the time this comes out, he might have 52. He's on a crazy tear. The Yankees, however, are not playing their best baseball. Their record in August is dismal compared to the rest of their season. So the Rays, the Jays, were making up ground, and hopefully we're still able to make up ground. And hopefully, like, Yankees keep going on the downhill, and hopefully they actually did peak too early in the season, and because I mean they were unstoppable for quite some time earlier in the year. Well, even like 3 weeks ago they were unstoppable. Oh, another big home run news as well. Albert Pujols, the legend that's still fucking kicking, hit his 694th career home run yesterday. This week in sports, 694. My God, yeah, that's so. We all hope, everyone is hoping that he gets 700, because you smell that? The good, right?
Gross.
A good. No, no. Everyone that follows baseball is hoping Pujols is able to hit 700, because he'll only be the third guy to ever hit 700 home runs. No, fourth guy. Bonds, Aaron, Babe Ruth, and now it would be Pujols. So he'd be the fourth guy in MLB history to hit fucking 700.
You listed legends there.
The best of the best.
And then Pujols.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
He literally is, man.
I'm excited for him to be amongst.
It's crazy. He already is amongst them, but it's just the fact that he's like still playing. Like he's been playing like the entire time, the entirety of me watching baseball. He's been part of the MLB, which is fucking crazy to say. So he's 6 away. He's not an everyday player, but he'll get his opportunities, and I think they'll probably put him in more often the closer and closer he gets. I mean, he's 6 home runs away, and I'm pretty sure he said this is his last season as well. So now's the time. On the other side of the spectrum, in the MLB, youngster Julio Rodriguez is going to stay in Seattle and is signing for some big bucks, upward, or could be up in the $440 million range for 12 or 14 years or something. He got his notoriety this season from crushing it in the home run derby. That's how I first heard about Julio. J-Rod, they're calling him.
Not H-Rod?
Not H-Rod. No, it's Julio with a J. Julio. But, I guess he's staying in Seattle. Yeah, it's $210 guaranteed over 14 years. With bonuses and whatnot, could go well over $400 million. So good on the kid. It's crazy. These numbers are just breaking records. Each and every contract that is being signed. They're just, the money's flowing out, and baseball being the only sport that doesn't have a salary cap allows for that. So before we get into the NFL and the NBA news, there some news around the NHL. The Pittsburgh Penguins extended their coach. What's his face? Why do I just keep getting these notifications about these other things here? Sullivan. What's his first name? Mike Sullivan. 20 through 26-27. The reason why this is noteworthy and something I want to talk about is because he has won a cup with them, and his core group of players are getting older, right? Crosby, Malkin, Letang, they're all in their mid-30s. The end is near. But the Pens felt confident enough in Sullivan to sign him through 26-27. So it might be safe to say that if Crosby and Malkin do end up playing their whole careers with the Pens, Sullivan will see them out. And I don't know, you never want to count out those types of those caliber of players, because I mean they've been there, they've done that, they've won championships. So and so has the coach. So maybe they have one more run in them. But we have plenty of runs left in us. Us meaning the Oilers. So if the Pens were to make another run, who knows? Could you imagine a Crosby versus McDavid Stanley Cup final? Ooh, do you have a woo button on that fucking thing?
Yes, I do. No.
What was that?
It's right here.
No. There we go.
We're just gonna leave it at that.
In NFL news, Week 1 is coming. I talked to Max about coming on the podcast before Week 1 or around Week 1 to do some predictions and shit. Quit fucking with that.
That was the one I wanted.
Okay. We're gonna have my boy, the NFL connoisseur, Max, whatever his last name is, Paulin. Have him on the podcast upcoming before the Week 1 starting. But shootings and rapes are news in the NFL.
Shootings and what?
Shootings and rapes. So, a homie got shot, getting robbed, and had surgery, and he's in stable condition. Washington Commanders running back Brian Robinson, he had surgery after getting blasted in a robbery. So, thankfully, he's doing all right. But the Matt Arzaria or something, I don't even care about his name. We've all probably heard it. He got released by whatever team he was with. I think he was with the Bills or some shit because there was accusations of a gang rape he was involved in. So fuck that guy.
You can't say that word on YouTube.
What, rape?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because it'll restrict our video.
Well, it's restricted then. Just fucking
R-worded or essayed.
gang rape.
There's a saying within our community that's not reflective in any other community, but take it how you will. You can take the Indian off the res, but you can't take the res out of the Indian. We can cut that out if I'm canceled.
No. I don't understand the relevance or the relevance of that.
For some of these players, maybe where they came from reflects maybe some of their choices.
With the gang rape?
Not the gang rape. I mean, like the shootings and stuff.
Oh, yeah, maybe his homies, and it got word out like, yo, this NFL player's chilling, come rob him, right? I don't know the details of that shit.
I mean, like if you're hood, like maybe you still participate in shootings.
No, he got robbed.
Oh.
Were you not listening to the whole
shootings and rapes?
Yeah, he got robbed and he got shot.
Oh.
And then a different player got released for being accused of gang raping.
Well, I just mean him then.
Holy fuck. Pay attention, man. Fucking tugga. Oh yeah, one quick note on the NHL though. Something that I wanted to bring up was there was talks, maybe it's just rumors, but there were some discussions around Oil Country about perhaps getting another Kane on our team. Patrick Kane. And I don't know how the hell we would make that work. Patrick Kane on our team. Like if we had that, fuck, I'd put money on us winning the Stanley Cup. I'd actually put money on it. Like, but he plays for Blackhawks, man, and he's a 3-time champion with the Blackhawks, right? So like, I don't know how we would make that work. I think it might just be rumors, but it would be cool to have like the two Kanes in the NHL. But I mean that's just rumors, so it'd be fucking nuts. Patrick Kane was back when he was in his prime with Tays and they were winning championships. I always picked them on NHL because I love the Blackhawks and they had such a good team and they were consistent. And with Crawford back in the day, their goalie, they were a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, in some NBA news, R.J. Barrett, Canadian youngster. R.J. Barrett signs the biggest contract for a rookie in New York Knicks history. Give him a round of applause. Fucking mad love. R.J. Barrett. Yes, dude. Just a kid from Canada. Plays for New York. Unfortunately, like the New York Knicks are, notoriously suck, but he got in, and he finalized a 4-year rookie extension. Could be worth up to $120 million. So props on him coming from Canada and going down to getting drafted by New York and playing well enough to earn that type of a contract. So mad respect to him. I love seeing shit like that. And being somewhat of a newcomer to basketball compared to like the other sports that I've watched in my entire life, R.J. Barrett might be my favorite player outside of the Raptors because he's Canadian and he's a stud. In other sports news, and This Week in Sports, before I get to This Week in Sports history, it's about the U.S. Open in tennis. Serena Williams is on the fucking court right now as we speak, as I'm recording this, in what could be her final match if she loses. She won the first round, and I was just going over her stats before this, and she's one of the best athletes, not only of our generation, but of all time. Have you watched King Richard yet, Caleb?
It's on the list.
You got to get there. It's crazy. She came from Compton to becoming one of the most recognizable athletes. Well, the most recognizable athlete probably from tennis, and one of the most recognizable American athletes in the world.
She's the only tennis player I can name.
There you go. Exactly. Most people could, like, I don't even watch tennis that much, but fuck, if TSN had a PlayStation app, I'll say it again. I'll say it this time. I'll keep saying it. If they had a PlayStation app, they'd be having my money, and I'd be watching Serena Williams tonight. But they don't have a PlayStation app, so they don't get my money. But I was thinking of going down to the CTV studios where they have TSN 1260 there.
Yeah.
Introducing myself to some of them, kind of nudge the door open a bit.
Down in West Edmonton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Why don't you get a Roku? But you have a Roku TV.
Yeah.
It's not on Roku TV?
No. Not even Sportsnet's on Roku.
Google TV?
Google TV?
Chrome TV?
Well, yeah, you know what I think I could do? I could get it on my phone and then cast it.
Right. But that's shitty.
It's shitty. It's not as good quality.
Well, then if you get it on your phone, then you can get it on Google TV. Chrome TV. $30. Plug it back your TV.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We'll talk about this later.
Maybe. I still have DAZN for a few weeks or a few months into the year, and that's where I get my NFL from. And that red zone shit is where it's at. I love that shit. Those are where my Sundays consist of. So yeah, Serena Williams playing in a match right now, the U.S. Open. A crazy stat that I seen. Oh, it's like the most insane shit ever. Why isn't this coming up? Okay, so This Week in Sports History. This is where we'll start. August 29th, 2001. Serena Williams wins at the U.S. Open. Albert Pujols hits a home run. Vlad Guerrero Sr., Greg Biggio, and Dante Bichette all record a hit. August 29th, 2022. Serena Williams wins at the U.S. Open. Albert Pujols hits a home run. Vlad Guerrero Jr., Kevin Biggio, and Bo Bichette all record a hit.
Go get your lottery tickets with their numbers.
Absolutely fucking incredible. So that's 21 years in between. Serena Williams winning at the U.S. Open, winning a match at the U.S. Open. Albert Pujols hitting a home.
What year is this?
From 2001 to 2022.
That's insane.
Caleb, and then all the dads, so Guerrero, Bichette, and Biggio, the three kids that we have on our team, three of the kids, all their dads played in the MLB, and they all recorded a hit on the exact same day.
I was like Zeb's age.
Dude, fucking crazy, eh? It's so nuts. So that shows the longevity of Serena Williams and Albert Pujols, the two greats. And then just the cherry on tops were the dads all recording a hit, and then the sons all recording a hit on the same day. It's fucking mind-blowing. That's like 1 in a trillion, like... I can't even fucking believe that shit. And some more TWIS, though, some more personal TWIS. This week in sports history, what was it, 4 years ago, we were in New York. We went to New York, and I don't think I told these stories on the podcast yet, because last year, when we were doing episodes, I don't think we had the segment, but 4 years ago, we were in New York. First night there, we were like, holy fuck. Like, we had plans, though. We had it all planned out. First night there, Drake was performing at MSG. So we went to the most famous, world famous Madison Square Garden the first night there to see a fellow Canadian rock the stage. It's fucking incredible. I still can't believe that was our first night there.
See who?
Drake.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. At MSG. Fucking crazy, bro. So crazy. And like, I'm not normally like a huge Drake fan, but he was the only form of entertainment happening at the MSG during the time that we were going to be there, and it happened to be our first night there. So it worked out pretty well, actually. And later in that trip, we went to Yankee Stadium, had a great time. A story about Yankee Stadium, the first game, is like, this is before my Seattle trip, before I had a ball before I got a ball from an MLB game or anything. Sure enough, in the top of the first inning, a foul ball comes flying up. Oh my God, it's coming to our section. I start booking towards to where it's gonna land. I think I shoved not shoved, but kind of pushed some people out of the way a little bit, and I went to go grab the ball. And then I seen this kid or these two kids going to grab it. I'm like, okay, you guys can have it, right? And then the rest of the game, we never got a foul ball even close to our section. But it was like top of the first inning. It was about to happen. And it was amazing to be in Yankee Stadium. It was everything you can think of after watching it on TV, and then some. Just a legendary team, legendary organization. And you can even call the new Yankee Stadium a legendary stadium, even though it's not the original, which was across the street, which now is just it's like a community ballpark, like community diamonds that anyone can play at. And I bought my Yankees jersey there and my A-Rod jersey there, right across the street, authentic, at the Yankee store, right in the Bronx. Every fucking jersey you can imagine in there, from Judge, current players, to Stanton, to old school players like Jeter, to what I got, Rodriguez, to like Babe Ruth jersey. Oh, it was so dope. Fuck, I can go on for days and days about my New York trip and the stories about New York, but one in particular that pertains to sports is I wanted to go to another game at Yankee Stadium, a second game. So I was on StubHub, and I booked another ticket to the game. I think it was that day. Take the train from New Jersey, where we're staying, Jersey City. I crossed through the Lincoln Tunnel, is the way we got into New York, was the Lincoln Tunnel, and then got on the train towards Yankee Stadium. However, I didn't have my ticket. My ticket wasn't coming through on StubHub. It wasn't coming through. I was panicking. I was wondering what the fuck's going to happen. What's going to happen? I'm standing. I get to Yankee Stadium. This is after our first game, so I kind of am familiar with the whole thing. And I'm standing in line, like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? Like, if I get to the front of the line, what am I like? I'll show them that I paid for it, but it's not coming through. This has happened in three times I've been to baseball games, where I basically don't have a ticket, but somehow I get in, and yeah, like it's unbelievable. Like God's looking out for me because I'm standing in line, and then this sounds awfully similar to my Toronto story. Yeah, I'm standing in line, waiting for the ticket to come through, and there's this group of guys like Toronto, right? They're just talking and shit, and I'm like looking at my phone, like I'm not gonna get through. And I think I kind of, unlike Toronto though, I asked them because they were talking about having a bunch of tickets and whatnot, and I overheard them, right? And I think I asked them this, opposed to Toronto where they kind of was like more natural, because we were like walking up in line. I'm like, hey, you guys have an extra ticket I could buy off you? And they had like 10 or something. They're like, no man, just have it, just have this ticket. It was up like in the 400 level or whatever. But
I've heard this before, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I told you when I came back. But yeah, they're like, here, just have this. I'm like, you guys are a lifesaver. I fucking paid StubHub by money already, and they're not coming through. Luckily, StubHub reimburses you, thank God, right? But they gave me a free ticket to get in. Like I was like from here to like I don't need, like that tree or something, as close to the gate, right? The line was moving, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do, right? What, I'm just gonna stand out here? And I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll go to a bar in the Bronx and watch it, but it's like, fuck that. I'm here, let me try to get in.
All the way back.
Yeah. And it was only like a $30 ticket that they gave me, but they gave it to me for free. And I got in for that second game, and it was amazing. Yeah. And I have plenty more sports or plenty more stories of New York, but maybe I'll get into it in future episodes. I'm sure I will. And no. People are watching probably like, what the fuck? There's some shit happening behind the camera. There's some twerking going on. There's some peculiar behavior happening over here. Oh, there's somebody hanging from the ceiling like he's 50 Cent.
Just tell me when we're done. We can drive her up the hill.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, 100%. Because we're wrapping up here this week in sports. My last episode in my 20s. We have some plans to do like a 30th birthday episode or something of the sort. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Tell people to hit subscribe. We really appreciate it. And until next time, adios, folks.